8:17 a.m. Quad Cities at News Talk 1420 WOC with Dan and Dan. Drew Melke from the Rock Island County Board is with us. The reason, well, you know, we'd like having him stop by, of course. You can stop by anytime you want, Drew, sure. But the reason we're here today is because tonight you have to work. It's a long day for you. You got to work tonight, too, because there's a special meeting of the Governmental Affairs Committee. The meeting is at 5:30 tonight. And what's going to happen at the meeting tonight? I mean, this is the big news is something that we've all been pushing for a long time.
One thing on the agenda
seems to be
reform package.
The reform package, and it seems to be so now this is not going to move out of committee tonight, right?
We are going to vote.
Okay.
But the hopes are that we're going to vote and pass this on to the full board meeting, which is next Tuesday at 5:30.
Okay.
And so that's the intention, and it should be if the votes remain the same as they did last time we moved this out of committee, and it got pulled back for review by the state's attorney, which I'm not opposed to, but I still believe that probably it could have gone to the full board, but it did not. We're being very judicious, I believe, and now we have the green light from the state's attorney's office saying that the proposals that we have, the reform that we have, are legal, and we can move forward. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to review each one. The first one is the pension reform, saying we're going to remove county board members from receiving. Participating in IMRF, which is Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund.
Right. Which it's kind of iffy that they were there in the first place, right?
Well, it's even more iffy before, and this is the thing, is that, you know, all the paperwork that I was given, it was said, well, you know, you're eligible to participate in this. Well, but now I am against it because, number one, people don't expect us to have pensions. But the other reason is now we have a county administrator. So now we have someone that's full-time that's doing a lot of the work that the county board members were doing. Not that we don't still do a lot of work,
sure,
but it's really hard to justify that a county board member works day in, day out, 20 hours a week, 52 weeks a year. It's hard to justify that. I believe that I work 20 hours a week, many weeks, but I just don't think it's appropriate, and so I want this removed. And the only way that I can get out, and others that are in it, there's others that want out of this.
Right. Because once you're in, right? You can't just sign a piece of paper that says
you can get a divorce.
Yeah.
You can get a divorce in this country. You can change your name. You can do a lot. You can renounce your citizenship, but you cannot get out of IMRF. I don't understand it, but it's the way it is. I don't think it's right. So I've led this charge saying, you know what, we really can't, and looking at it with the new administrator, we really do not have any ground to stand on to being in this. So, matter of fact, I understand McHenry County is in trouble, Illinois, with IMRF saying that someone's challenging their validity. So we're ahead of the curve on this, actually. We're proactive, saying, you know what, probably need to look at this. And so tonight, that's one of the things we're going to try to do.
You're probably ticking off some of the other counties, by the way, by even bringing this up.
Yeah, you're right. You know, we're making everyone else look bad, which is a miracle in Rock Island County. We're leading the charge on reform, and that's what we're here for.
Right, so that's item one. Item number two tonight in the reform package?
Well, then we have health benefits. Now, I have not led the charge on the health benefits, but again, that's a benefit that a lot of people believe, you know, it's a part-time job. Why do you have health benefits? Well, not many county board members participate. I think there are only 7 that participate in that. But at that time, also, that's one of the reforms that we've looked at and said, again, does the public, and we answer to the public, or at least we should. So does the public feel that we should participate in health benefits? Well, the focus group that we had with Kai Swanson and Chris Filbert led said that no, they probably don't. We don't need that either. We shouldn't be doing that either. So that's something else that's the other thing that's going to be removed. These two things are going to happen in April.
Okay.
April 11th for the IMRF and April 30th for the health benefits, if this all goes to fruition.
Now, item 3 is the big one, I think.
This is the one that I think we're all tired of talking about, and we really would least like to see some doing. The doing will happen in 2020 after the census, and that's because of the single-member versus multi-member districts. We could have downsized with the multi-member districts, but we're saying, no, we're going to do it with single-member districts. That's what the people did say they wanted. So we have a referendum, actually it's a resolution that's drawn up that says in 2020 that board will reapportion based on whatever the census data is to 15 districts, 1 member each, which gives us a total of 15 members. So this is not binding again because we can't control that. We can't.
You can't really put it's it's like the Senate rules. Every year they vote on rules for that. You can't tell a Senate 10 years from now here's how you have to operate.
You can't.
So it's kind of, this is the same thing. Do they have to do it in 2020, even if this passes?
You can't bind these people aren't even elected yet.
Right.
And it may be me or may not be. But I'll say one thing. This sends a clear message for anyone running to that office. And you get in office, you probably should look very hard at the numbers. And maybe they might say, well, maybe we want 14. Hey, let's go with even less. So they could even do less than 15 members or 15 districts. But
I mean, there's a lot of people that look at it and say, why do you need, all these districts in Rock Island? There's other places that are a lot bigger that have less.
Right, and it's a different. Iowa is not apples or it is apples to oranges.
Illinois, there are plenty of Illinois counties.
There's a lot of Illinois counties that don't have.
What does Cook County have with Chicago? They've got 6.
But they have 6. But they have their home rule and they're a whole different kind of. Their county government is a lot different than our county, and maybe that's a good thing too.
But I mean, the big argument when people say, well, they're going to argue people who aren't for downsizing, they're going to say, well, but now people are going to lose representation.
Well, and I am very sensitive to the 2 issues that are important to me are rural representation, because my district is partly rural. Matter of fact, my district they've removed the ruralness from some of it, and moved me into an area that's urban that no one knows anything about. My district being on both sides of the river now, so they've really kind of in 2012 they actually I believe they affected representation then. So I'm sensitive to that. The other big issue is minority representation. And I think we got to assure that every voice is heard. We got to make sure that, let's say if somebody wants to run a district, that they are represented in that district, or at least have a chance. So if you make the districts too big, that knocks a lot of people out being able to serve the public.
Yeah.
And maybe it would even knock me out because, Republicans are a minority on the district. We have larger districts.
In Rock Island County?
What?
But I'm very sensitive to that. I think that in 2020, when they do this remapping, they need to look at what the demographic of the district is, because you don't want to gerrymander a group remove their voice.
Right.
And that can happen.
Yeah.
If you have the wrong people. And that's why I believe in fair maps. We need to have both parties looking at these maps in 2020 and looking at, okay, not just doing pencil gerrymandering all of it. And that's my district is to say my district, you have to swim across Rock River. It's even catty corner.
Right.
So, that kind of gerrymandering doesn't need to occur in 2020.
Very quickly here, what are the chances, what are your thoughts, this gets past the committee here, and then is it going to pass the board? What's the overall consensus on the board? Do we have one yet?
No, I don't yet. I've been so focused on getting this out of committee. It seems like this is the 3rd time now the downsizing has hit the wall.
Yeah.
The first time the chairman voted to actually make a tie to stop the downsizing from progressing. The second time we stalled a little bit, but I'm okay with that. I'd love to keep moving. And so this is the 3rd time is the charm. And so if it goes to out of committee tonight, which I think it will, we've got the chairman or chair of the committee is Scott Terry. He's going to be able to break a tie, and there probably will be a tie. It'll be 3 Democrats, and then on voting against this. I'm expecting. I can't speak for them. And there's going to be myself, Mike Steffen is a Republican. He's going to vote for it. And Brian Vinke is a Democrat. I believe he's going to vote for it, given our vote last time.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and Scott Terry will break the tie, our chair. He's a big advocate of reform like I am. And so we're going forward with these are reform measures that we believe in. There's stalwarts, I think, now you're talking about the full board. I think there's stalwarts on there. They're going to use any excuse they can to say, no, we shouldn't do this.
Right.
And I hope the public sees through it.
All right, that meeting is tonight at 5:30 at the county building, 2nd floor county building, right?
I believe it's 2nd floor. It's 15th Street and 3rd Avenue, downtown Rock Island.
Pop your head in and ask where the governmental affairs meeting is.
It's on 2nd floor. I'm pretty sure, unless we run out of room, but it should be. Committees are on 2nd floor.
All right.
Okay, Drew, good to see you again, and
Thank
good
you
luck
for having
tonight.
me in.
Thanks,
Drew Melke from the Rock Island County Board.